How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. A little wine barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout time. Belgian Russian Imperial Stout time. In a form of Hent Nest Brewery. It is their Dead Man's Hand. Yeah. Never had anything by these guys before. Never heard of them. Saw them on the shelf at a local bottle shop. Picked it up. So here we are. Let's dive in and see what she's got as far as what it says on this bottle. It says Belgian Imperial Stout. Ale brewed with spices and aged in wine barrels. Dead Man's Hand. It says here wine barrel aged Russian Imperial Stout. It says black beer with an outspoken, complex character. Served at the correct temperature, 45 to 50 is probably closer to 55. It gives notes of chocolate, coffee, caramel, dark fruit, and a hint of anise. It says Shelton Brothers Import. Here it says Hobby Brewery. Brewery. Hent Nest is a group of friends making excellent craft beer. So, Hobby Brewery. So, it must be somewhere right above like home brewing, I guess. Says with their beers, they want to promote Turnhout as a worldwide center of playing card industry. That's weird. So, it sounds like a bunch of homebrewers that are addicted to playing cards. Turnhout. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's the town they're in. Anyway. Label-wise, it's pretty freaking cool. I don't know. It's Dead Man's Hand, like 2 1s, 2 8s. I don't know what that is. I'm not a poker guy. I don't know what's going on. But listen, it's a Russian Imperial Stout. It's black and red. There's a skull. It's from Belgium. I don't know. I like it. Doesn't take much to wow me sometimes. You know, you'd be pretty simple with that stuff. So, a Belgian-born Russian Imperial Stout aged in wine barrels. You're like, well, Belgian Russian Imperial Stout? I don't know about that. Well, the best Russian Imperial Stout in the world comes from Belgium. That would be Distruce's Black Albert. So they definitely know how to make a Russian Imperial Stout in Belgium. That head is pretty gigantic. This is a very tall glass. It's elusive looking because it's kind of like a huge wine glass. Probably got something a little bit nicer to pour it into, but I kind of suck with that thing. With those things and notes and details and stuff, I just drink and talk and scream and yell and all that kind of fun stuff. Anyway, some of the better Russian Imperial Stouts I've had at least. Actually in the Netherlands. Emelise, actually. Struce, their stouts are world renowned, and so if these guys are kind of making a beer like this, my guess is they're kind of chugging that beer, kind of hoping to kind of cut their own kind of slice of that pie when it comes to that kind of Imperial Stout awesomeness that comes out of Belgium. Anyway, 2, 3 fingers, gigantic head, that's all this guy's fault. But it's infinitely creamy. I mean, it's super creamy. Kind of like it looks like a root beer float, like you're doing an ice cream root beer float, and that kind of head of it, kind of some of it dimples down. There's huge divots in it and stuff like that from the top. You can't see that. On the side, it probably looks like a relatively normal style beer, but yeah, she looks absolutely fucking delicious. Wine barrel-aged stouts tend to come off a little bit heady for me too sometimes, unless they're turning sour. So, could be that too. See if we can get a nose on her. That smells so fucking good, it's not even fucking funny. Oh my god. Holy fucking shitballs. Jesus Christ. That's fucking fantastic. I don't even know what to say. If this tastes half as good as it smells, it's fucking a home run. Huge, big red vinousness to it. But it's not like overly dry. Because you're thinking of red wine, you think of dry wine. That's typically what I think. This is not coming off super dry. It's coming off very vinous, very grapey. It's winey, but at the same time, it's more leaning grapey than winey. Those grapes have kind of settled into a more kind of pruny, raisiny kind of vibe. So it's not necessarily just straight up grapey even. It's more of kind of like a matured, kind of fermented, kind of matured, kind of dehydrated, whatever you want to call it, kind of realm. There's this really beautiful, soft chocolate floating in the background that has a subtle smokiness to it. But the beer, the beer is still there. There's a subtle roasted malt to it. Actually, probably a pretty big roasted malt, just probably being beaten back by that huge, robust wine barrel. Yeah, there's wood in there. There's a little bit of smoke in there. Like I said, there's a soft chocolate in there. There's that beautiful kind of dark fruit. We're just going to go dark fruits with it. Just kind of wrapped itself around the whole beer. Oh, man. That is so fucking good. God, if this tastes like shit, I'm going to get angry. I might just throw something. I gotta drink it. I gotta drink it. That's really good. It's not as good as you thought, or as I thought, based off of that nose. But it's still fucking tasty. Oh, ooh, coffee. I'm getting coffee. Fuck. Curveballs, man. I love them. Yeah. Mouth feels nice. It's not the biggest beer in the history of mankind. Red wine barreled stouts can kind of go a little bit thin when it goes that way. So it's not thin, not as thick as you'd expect for a big, robust beer, especially of that nose. Roasted malts are definitely there. Come off. I don't think there's chocolate in it. There could be chocolate. They talked about what, ale brewed with spices and aged with red wine barrels. I don't think coffee's one of those spices. I just think that roasted malt's so huge, and you're kind of combining that kind of wine barrel and that little bit of dark fruit. It kind of gives you just kind of coffee, really robust kind of coffee vibes. It definitely comes off a little bit more winey than that kind of pruny, raisiny thing in the mouth, but it's still not straight grape. Dry. So I'm definitely getting some oak in this. It's delicious. Listen, I think diminished returns you see in this happiness is because of how insane the nose was. The expectations of this beer for me were like, oh, I hope it's good. To the second I smelled it, I was like, this is one of the best smelling beers I've ever smelled in my life. Is that lip service? I don't know. But that's what I felt in the moment. So going into it, I immediately went, oh my god, this beer, I had to restrain myself. And be like, this beer is going to taste so fucking good, it's not even fucking funny. And it's still really good. It's still really tasty. It's just that nose is just, God, man. Listen, when the Martians come down from outer space and they say, we're going to challenge you to a nose off on liquids, bring your best smelling stuff. This might not be in there, man. I might be like, hey, gotta get those guys from fucking Het Nest to bring a couple bottles down and fucking throw this shit in front of, aliens? Noses? What am I talking about right now? Anyway, tangents. That's, I get too excited. I get on tangents. Yeah, just absolutely fucking beautiful beer. You get the dryness from the oak. Got a nice red dark fruits. A little bit more pruny in the nose, but definitely still rich and matured in the mouth. Not as winey as you'd expect, but definitely has some wine vibes. Deep, robust red wine, sweetened red wines, fortified wine almost. Cool mouthfeel, little bit of chalky, kind of like chocolatey thing going on in there. Just fun as fuck. Absolutely delicious. And yeah, I'm going to buy some of this for myself. Let's talk about this beer. Is it one of the better barrel-aged stouts I've had as of late? I'm going to have to say yes. I mean, nose alone just warrants to be in the discussion. Is it one of the best? Man, I'm a sucker for wine barrel-aged stouts. But I know I've had a couple. I mean, Cafe Bastardo from Nickelbrook will probably take the cake over this. A couple other ones. No one takes the cake in the nose from. It wins. Hands down. Done. Dead man's hand. You're done. But, yeah. As far as just in general, it's heavily in the discussion. Value and availability, it's like $5.50 a bottle. A little stubby, kind of like a Castile, kind of quacky kind of bottle. I have no fucking problem with that at all, in any form or fashion. Availability, ever seen it once? My life, once. Just drove about an hour or two ago. About 3 hours ago, I got home with this bottle. I will be driving back tomorrow and buying a couple. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9 of them. And just say, if you like what we like this. If you like good fucking beer. If you like wine barrel aged beers. If you like wine barrel aged stouts. If you like noses that would literally blow the titties off me, you, and fucking Marge Simpson, then you'd like this, because you know what this is? This is cartoon titty blowing off in music, and I'm not a cartoon, and my tits might blow off, so there you go. You know when I like beers, because they get all weird and shit, so that's how you know I like it so much. Anyway, there you go. Another review in books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. If you didn't, anywhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tapped. Massive Beers. All 4 of those places, and yeah. Another review down, so hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoyed a nice homebrew from a bunch of card players that blows your tits off, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.